Hey YouTube, welcome again to Guys Got Pipes. I'm that guy. I got some pipes, and I happen to have a special guest for this episode. And our guest is, I'm not looking at the paper before I know who she is. This is Gabrielle. This is my daughter. Gabby,
Hello.
welcome to Guys Got Pipes.
Thanks.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, as he just stated, I am his daughter. I am 24 years old, about to turn 25 in a couple weeks. I have never smoked a tobacco pipe before, but I have smoked hookah and...
We won't mention that. What else? Try to keep this a family show or over 18. We're not promoting cannabis usage on this channel.
But, I have smoked also, like, a cigar here and there. Black and mild, as disgusting as that sounds, but never smoked a cigarette.
Okay.
Take after my mom. I don't think she's ever smoked one, or maybe she's tried one, but I've totally been against cigarettes just because, the stigma around it. But anyways, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Teach me about smoking pipes. I'm excited to learn a lot of stuff today.
It's a pleasure. Well, what do you think of all this pipe smoking business and your dad's hobby over the past year and the collecting I've been doing? And
I think everyone needs a hobby. And I think this is really cool to have a pipe smoking hobby because not many people smoke pipes. And I think it's a very, it's pretty cool. It's fancy. It's kind of bougie in a sense of bourgeois.
Bourgeois.
And, if you're gonna smoke tobacco, you might as well be fancy about it. So I think there's a lot of hobbiness involved in smoking tobacco and smoking pipes, so I think it's really interesting, and if you like something, you might as well go after it and do it.
You're creating some new words today, I think. Hobbiness.
Hobbiness, yeah. That is part of my dictionary.
All right.
Hobbiness.
Gabby's dictionary. Well, let's get you started. We're going to smoke. You've got a little cob I'm going to give you. This is a nice cob pipe. I think it has kind of some ladylike qualities. It's kind of a smaller bowl, so that will be yours. And what we're going to do is, okay, so that's the pipe you'll smoke, so put that down for a second.
Okay.
We're going to get Gabby started with smoking, what a lot of newbies would pick up and what more of the more experienced tobacco user or pipe tobacco smoker would tell someone starting out. Well, maybe you should start with Lane 1Q, the world's top-selling bulk tobacco. So here is Lane 1Q, and of course you've all seen what this looks like. Virginia's and Cavendish. And it's a ribbon cut. And it's pretty easy to light, stays lit. And I want you to take the tobacco gab and just
Do you want me to put
inhale.
my entire nose in it?
Put your nose in it. I don't care. We're all family. What do you smell? What are some things that you smell when you smell that tobacco?
Oh, it's really sweet.
Very good. But are there certain flavors that you can imagine?
Cherry, in a sense, maybe.
Quite possibly.
Chocolate.
Maybe.
Bourbon. I don't know. It's like I can't pinpoint it, but it's definitely something that it's a flavor.
Yeah.
Scent that I've smelled.
Maybe in a candle.
Before in a candle or something. Yeah.
Okay. It could have vanilla. It could have honey.
Vanilla.
There might be some cherry. It's everyone kind of, and that's the beauty about pipe smoking is people will smell different things. And one guy in a review or one gal might say, "Oh, I'm tasting cherry notes," or "I'm tasting vanilla or honey." So we all have different palates, and we all kind of taste different things, or smell certain things. So we're going to get Gabby started with some Lane 1Q. So we're going to, I think, pack the pipe now and get back at you quite soon. Stand by. We are back on Guys Got Pipes. We've got Gabby all packed up with Lane 1Q in that cob. And if you watched my previous video, you saw me unbox this sweet meerschaum with the lion and the dragon claw.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was a dragon claw on it.
Oh, yeah.
That is so Game of Thrones. It really is, though.
All right, so here's the Zippo. I love Zippos, by the way. Put the pipe in the mouth and just see what you can do. Are you tasting? What do you taste besides just smoke?
I taste like chocolate. or the vanilla for sure.
Okay.
It reminds me of baking a cake.
Okay.
Kind of when you lick the batter in a sense.
Clench it. You can clench it. Now, don't do all that mouth business. You don't have to go. Just basically just ponder. Think of something, you know. So take some smoke in with your closed mouth. Hold. Now pull the pipe out. No. Okay, watch Dad here. So basically, you put it in. So let it linger in your mouth for a bit. So keep the mouth closed when you withdraw the pipe. Did you inhale?
Yeah.
We're not going to inhale, Gab.
So confused. You know what this reminds me of, though?
What?
Like when I'm sitting here, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of this history of theater class, but it takes me back to early, America settlers coming over, and all I can think about is just how in Virginia and Jamestown, settlers when they first came over and they colonized, tobacco was how they made their money. Growing tobacco was how they made their money, and it's just so interesting that now I understand why.
Many scholars will tell you that the reason that there is the United States of America is solely because of tobacco. Had there not been a tobacco trade, we very well might not have ever been here. So we may not exist. We might be somewhere either in Croatia or Sweden or England, wherever,
Yeah. Very interesting.
Well, tell us more about yourself and what you do.
So currently I am still in school. Been in school. Attending school at Arizona State University. Very, very blessed to say that I got a job at one of the hardest places to get a job, which is in Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona, at a bar. I got a job first at El Jefe. It's a club down there. Got a job bartending. Pulled in a lot of money. Got myself a new car. I was able to pay some credit cards off and all that jazz.
And let me just interject. Gabby is putting herself really through school on her own. And
yeah.
I give her all the credit in the world for doing that. She's a very hard worker. And tell us about your theater career and your career as a stand-up comic.
Yeah, so...
I wonder where she gets that from.
So it's kind of always been... I've always had this very charismatic side to me. In school growing up, I loved sports, and I loved... movies, and I love to write, and I just have this side of my brain where I'm not a math person, I'm not a science whiz like my mom is. I'm super I like to express myself, and I like to, I have a lot of emotions, and I think that's the really cool part about myself is, I like to even express those emotions and those feelings, and one of the ways that you can do that is through theater and drama and writing and being a stand-up comedian. So when I first moved to Scottsdale, Arizona, I thought, well, what do I really, really want to do if I go back to school? What is something that, I can really see myself doing? And I thought, I'm going to apply, and I'm going to have an agency sign me because I really want to start acting. I think I'd be good at it. So I got back into school, went with the major of theater at Arizona State University, was signed with an agency out here. Started getting gigs my first couple of gigs were extras and commercials, but at that time, anything was good for me to build my resume. Landed a couple cool gigs, also did a lot of print. So sometimes you might see me on packaging for
inflatable
pools, inflatable things. I know
inflatable dolls? No.
Oh, no. But just things... a lot of packaging, so if you're ever at Walmart or Costco, you might see me on a box. So that was really cool, and then I got my first televised gig. I was on Fox. I'm sure some of the viewers have watched it and didn't even know it was me. It was hard for me to even know it was me because I was wearing a black wig. But it was the Manson Files. It was all about the Manson cult, and it was on Fox primetime. In September. That's
very small part.
Yeah, very small part.
No speaking lines.
No speaking. I was part of like the reenactment of that. So it was really cool. It was so interesting to kind of be a part of that and see how they do it. How something is filmed for, primetime TV, and I met a lot of good connections, and it was really good for my resume.
Well, Gabby, you definitely have the gift of gab.
Yeah.
You like to talk.
Yeah, like to talk.
I wonder where you get that from.
From this one. I used to get in trouble all the time for it. But now I say I'm going to make money for talking.
Good for you. Yeah, because I got into broadcasting because I knew I wasn't going to be a world-class athlete, professional athlete. So I thought, well, I can get paid for watching sports and reporting on it. So that's why I became a national sportscaster for a radio network. So anyway, I want to thank you. I'm glad you got the pipe going again. Enjoy the smoke. Before it comes out, don't inhale. Take it in.
It's like I don't even know how to not inhale. It's like a...
Just take it in. Don't inhale.
like...
Savor the smoke. Taste the smoke. Okay, we have more lessons to go on Gabby's pipe smoking. So
I'll get there one day. Well, he's a pro. I'm a noob.
Far from it. Anyway, before the pipe goes out, we are going to close. And by the way, if you have any questions for Gabby that you'd like to have answered, drop a line to guysgotpipes@gmail.com. There's no apostrophe in Guys Got Pipes on my Gmail address, but if you have a question for either myself or Gabby, we'll try to respond in a future video, or I'll respond to you. That's it for this show. So we'll give our familiar close. It's not like the old MXC. What'd they say? Don't get eliminated! No, we're not going to do that. We're going to say peace, love, and pleasant smokes.